Welcome to our Disneyland Hotel Diaries. Today we're digging into the Camelot Inn Suites. We've gone through over 1,000 guest reviews to answer one big question. Is being right across the street from Disneyland worth everything else that comes with it?
So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the big picture stats, then zoom in on that incredible location. We'll take a look inside the rooms, talk about the very inconsistent service, unpack a major parking problem, and then give you our final verdict.
All right, first up, let's look at the numbers. When you boil down more than 1,000 different experiences, what's the overall vibe of the Camelot Inn?
So the hotel scores a 4.0 out of 5. On the surface, that sounds pretty solid, right? It puts it at number 50 out of 126 hotels in Anaheim, so it's smack in the upper half. But that number, it doesn't tell the whole story. Not even close. Okay, this is where things get interesting. Just look at that location score. A nearly perfect 4.9. It's carrying the whole team. Everything else, the rooms, the service, the value, it's just kind of meh. It's so clear that people are booking this place for one reason and one reason only.
And this chart really drives it home. Damn, most folks have a good or excellent stay. But look down at the bottom. Almost 1 in 10 reviews are poor or terrible. That's a huge red flag. It tells you that for most people, it's fine. But when it's bad, it's really bad. It's a gamble.
So let's talk about the one thing everyone agrees on. The hotel's superpower. Its location. This is why you're even thinking about staying here.
And this quote just says it all. If you've got little kids who need that midday nap, or you just want to escape the chaos for an hour, being this close is an absolute game changer. There's no waiting for shuttles, no long hot walks.
Let's be real, you are paying for proximity. We're talking a 5-minute walk, maybe 7 if you're strolling. That's probably shorter than the line for Space Mountain. You literally cannot get much closer to the magic without staying inside the resort itself. Okay, so the location is incredible, we get it. But what's it actually like inside the hotel? Let's talk about the rooms.
You know, the reviews are all over the place. People seem to love that the family suites are big and the beds are comfy. But then you hear about these really weird decor choices. One person literally said they had shelves you'd find in a garage. And you gotta know, housekeeping is light, which means they might just swap out towels, not a full-on clean every day.
Hey, just a quick pause. If this breakdown is helping you figure out your Disney trip, do us a huge favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us make more explainers like this one.
All right, now for what is, without a doubt, the most divisive thing about the Camelot Inn, the staff. It really seems to be a tale of two completely different hotels.
I mean, just look at these words. On one side, you've got welcoming, friendly, helpful, and on the other, rude, uncaring, arrogant. They're polar opposites. There is no middle ground here, which points to a huge problem with consistency. You just don't know who you're going to get at the front desk.
And wow, it gets personal. This isn't the only review that calls out a manager by name. When you see the same name pop up again and again in negative reviews, you know there's a real issue with leadership and how problems are handled.
Now let's dive into a very specific problem that people mention over and over again, and it's a big one: the mandatory valet parking.
Let me be crystal clear about this. You have no choice. You can't park your own car. You have to hand over your keys to a third-party company every single time. And for a lot of people, that's a huge source of anxiety.
And this right here, this is the absolute worst-case scenario. This guest came back from the park to find out the valet had lost their keys for hours. They were stuck, and they said the hotel management just didn't seem to care. That kind of experience is a major risk to consider.
So, after going through all of this, the amazing highs of the location and the really troubling lows of the service, what's the final word on the Camelot Inn?
It really all comes down to a massive trade-off. The pros are huge. You can't beat the walk to the park, the rooms are big, and you can see the fireworks. But the cons are just as big. You're rolling the dice on getting hostile service and dealing with a risky valet system. You're trading peace of mind for convenience.
So who is this hotel for? I'd say it's for the hardcore Disney fan whose only goal is to maximize park time. If you can shrug off a rude encounter and just focus on being steps away from the main gate, then yeah, this might work for you.
But, and this is a big but, if bad customer service can totally ruin your trip, or if the thought of someone losing your car keys keeps you up at night, you should probably book somewhere else. It's just not worth the stress.
So we'll leave you with that question to think about. When you're planning a trip to the happiest place on Earth, you have to decide what your must-haves are. Is a 5-minute walk to the front gate worth the risk? Your answer to that will tell you everything you need to know about the Camelot Inn.